Once upon a time, there was a young woman called Cinderella, who lived in a white house at the edge of the kingdom. The house was cold and bare, but Cinderella had her two stepsisters to keep her company. Unfortunately, Cinderella's stepsisters weren't very nice, and they were always playing mean tricks on her. Poor Cinderella. Cinderella's stepsisters made Cinderella do all the housework. She was always very busy. Cinderella was very sad and dreamt of being a princess. Meanwhile, far away over the mountains lay a beautiful palace. In the palace lived a wise king, a kind queen, and their son, a handsome prince. Every day, the prince grew sadder because he wanted to meet a beautiful princess to marry. And so the king and queen decided to throw a palace ball so that everyone could meet the prince. The queen wrote lots of invitations, and the king gave them to his most trusted knight to deliver them as quickly as possible. The knight traveled all day and all night to deliver the invitations in time for the palace ball. The following morning, Cinderella woke to find 3 letters on the doormat. When Cinderella saw they were invitations to the palace ball, she was very happy. Cinderella's stepsisters were very happy too. But then Cinderella's stepsisters told her that she could not go because the house was too untidy, and they tore up her invite. When her stepsisters left for the ball, Cinderella was very sad and started to cry. Suddenly, a magical fairy godmother appeared. "Don't be sad, Cinderella. You will go to the ball," said the fairy godmother. "How can I?" said Cinderella. "My invitation is all torn up." "I can help with that," said the fairy godmother as she waved her magic wand. And the invitation magically became whole again. "Thank you," said Cinderella, "but I still cannot go. My clothes are too old and dirty." "I can help with that too," said the fairy godmother, and waved her magic wand again. And Cinderella's dress magically became a beautiful ball gown. "Thank you," said Cinderella, "but I still cannot go. I have no way to get to the palace." "I've got it," said the fairy godmother. "First, I will need a mouse." With that, the fairy godmother carefully scooped up a little white mouse into her hand. "Now follow me into the garden," said the fairy godmother as she walked outside. The fairy godmother placed the mouse on a pumpkin and waved her magic wand once again, turning the mouse and pumpkin into a magical horse and carriage. "You must return before midnight, or the magic will wear off," the fairy godmother warned Cinderella. Meanwhile, at the palace, the party had started. When Cinderella arrived, the prince saw how beautiful she looked and danced with her all evening. Cinderella was enjoying herself so much that she did not notice it was nearly midnight. Just as the fairy godmother's magic began to wear off. But in her haste to leave, Cinderella had left one of her glass slippers behind. When the prince noticed the slipper, he picked it up and said, "Whoever this slipper fits, I will marry." The next day, the prince went to every house in the kingdom to see who the slipper would fit, until he finally arrived at Cinderella's house. The 2 stepsisters were very keen to try on the glass slipper, but it would not fit. "May I try on the slipper?" asked Cinderella. The two stepsisters laughed, but the prince said yes. The slipper fit perfectly. The prince then recognized Cinderella from the ball. The prince was very happy and asked Cinderella to marry him and to come live at the palace. Cinderella said yes! And they both lived happily ever after. The end. If you've enjoyed this story, why not check out our YouTube channel? Alternatively, download the Kindle version via the link underneath this video or by searching for it on Amazon.com.